And let's talk about this mess of a last episode of Drag Race. And when I tell you I was disappointed is not even the word I would probably describe how horrible this last episode was. So, in the last episode of Drag Race last week's, which was like what was that, episode 5? Um, the first half of the talent show, I will say, was good. The top two was the right top two. The bottom was the bottom. Sierra Mist, yeah, she wasn't the greatest, but should she have been in the bottom? I'm like, I'm not that upset that she's in the bottom this week. I mean, and from the challenge of the Raider Queen. This week, it felt personal. I don't know what show I was watching. I don't know if I was watching The Traitors or if I was watching Survivor, but it didn't feel like a genuine show of like people were voting based off of the performance. It felt political. And I don't know if this is a good idea for them to have the way that they did this Raider Queen this season. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like that they put it in the halfway mark, but I don't like the fact that you're letting the queens determine who should be in the bottom. In my opinion, it should be up to the judges. They're gonna have to figure out a way to rework this whole Raider Queen scene, because the fact that y'all had Mikey Meeks as the bottom choice to go up against Sierra Mist, I thought was bullshit. And I said it many times when I was watching. I don't know how many times I said bullshit when I'm watching the show. Can you please it should have been in the bottom? Because girl, speaking of when we were talking about people that don't remember words, when she got clocked by Michelle, and it's like, yeah, I'm looking at you, Kenya. Know the words when you get up there. So how many times I be hearing y'all be there, watermelon, watermelon. So it's like you up there gooped and gagged because you couldn't even remember the lyrics. And then you get up on there and perform your show, your performance, and you thinking doing the Britney with the flopping the hair back and forth, doing hairography, that was going to distract from the fact of you not knowing the words. And here's another thing. Why do big girls always have to do high kicks? What is up with that? It's like ever since, oh no, what's her name? The annoying white girl that was on what was it, season 8 and then went to season 9. When she was up there, she always was giving high kicks when it comes to stuff. The one that was on that show with Shangela and them over on HBO Max. I don't know, I'm forgetting names all of a sudden. But yeah, when there was big girls always feel the need to have to do a damn high kick. I don't understand why y'all be doing that. But yeah, I was disappointed in this episode. So I don't like this whole thing with the Raider Queen. I don't know. I haven't checked social media because I haven't read it, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that were pissed off with this second half. And I do agree with Nene. I do feel like Eureka. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't remember Eureka, but it was like, yeah, Eureka. Ever since Eureka O'Hara, I was like, because look, Mystique and wasn't up there doing high kicks back in the day, and neither was Jiggly Caliente. I feel like it started with Eureka with all them every 2 seconds. Why are you doing so many damn high kicks? You're not you're not up there. You're not a rockhead. So watching the show, I was like, yeah, this second week was a downgrade. And I do agree with Nene. Nene, if you would have waited and put yourself in the second week, I do believe you would have been in the top 2. And I think the top 2, even though I don't agree, they probably would have put Athena there anyway. I do not agree that Athena should have been in the top 2. I thought compared to the other house members, the Dion house members, when you're looking at Juicy and you're looking at Mia, Athena was the weakest. If you want to talk about performances. And another thing, did y'all know that Athena was Greek? Because she told us like 50,000 times in one episode. So I had no idea that Athena was Greek as many times as she told us. So that was another irritation with the Greek thing. And then the Oppa, okay, that was catchy. But as far as like the performance goes, it was giving lackluster. So I do not agree she should have been in the top. Now, if I was going to say, I do believe Mikey should have been in the top. And Jane Doan. Those are my top 2. I do a thing that if you were going to put bottom 3, I would have definitely had King and Pleaser. Discord Adams was not bad. So I don't like the idea that Sierra was going after Discord so bad, and I'm looking forward to seeing Roscoe's tomorrow because I haven't seen the episode. I know it filmed already and it's supposed to air for us regular folk who ain't trying to pay that $2 on Monday. So the Roscoe's viewing party is supposed to have Discord and Sierra on there, and I'd hope that they ask the question of how did you feel that Sierra was gunning for you so hard to be in the bottom? Because I don't know how you was up in there trying to think that. And one thing that was pissed that Discord be the weakest one. Why? Because she do that crazy walk. But one thing I didn't like because I was like, see, Juicy, you becoming one of those girls that you trying to be friends with every damn body. Because she wastes no time going over there telling Discord what Sierra was up to and what she was. I said, girl, stop. Why are you being a snitch? So I didn't get mad over that because Discord up in here being messy. And I guess because, I mean, not Discord, Juicy up in here being messy. And I guess because after Juicy did what she did, that's probably when some of the other queens felt the need, oh, that's my girl, so I'm gonna let her know what's going on and how we vote and those other stuff. So it was just messy. I don't know if I like the whole idea. It kind of felt like with this Raider Queen, y'all were trying to do the All-Stars thing, and it definitely felt a little All-Stars-ish to me. I don't like my fate being left in the hands of regular people that I'm competing with on a regular season of Drag Race. Like, if you want to do that whole find a new way of the girls eliminate each other Survivor style, then figure that out for the next season of All-Stars. I don't like this idea of what they were doing. So, yeah. So, Raider Queen this week was a chop. I didn't like it at all. I was going to see what else I want to say. And it just felt like there was a disconnect in regards of a lot of the ways, the way the girls was voting. Because can you please, I don't give a good goddamn. Like, okay, that's my Kiki sister and she's funny and all that other stuff, but her performance was terrible. You can't remember the lyrics to your own words, and sis, you need to lip sync for your damn life. And so there was an article that I came across, TV Line, where they basically said that Sierra Miss spoke out and basically said that suddenly presenting Raider Queen in terms of where we are in this season is an interesting concept. It feels more like an all-stars type of format, in my opinion, because it comes from the element of social strategy, whereas on the flagship, it's more standard that we're being critiqued by the judges. That's what we've come to expect. And maybe I'm wondering, is there a reason why we're all of a sudden allowing them to do this? Is it because the judges really don't have much to say anymore? Like, they don't really have much of a valid opinion on how to judge people on this show? Because a lot of times the judges don't match what we've been watching on the show. And I know that's been an overt criticism that a lot of the fandom has been saying. And it's like y'all trying to find more ways of not doing the job that y'all get paid lots of money to do, which is to judge these performances of or critique a lot of the queens that are competing on a reality show and a competition series, because it's a hybrid. It's a competition series and a reality show. So I get that you're trying to do this to spark interest because, yeah, these girls are acting very kumbaya in the season so far. A lot of people feel it's been kind of boring. There's not a lot of drama, so you had to create drama. But yeah, I'm glad that Athena's ego has been stroked a little bit because, she won the challenge or whatever the case is. But as I stated before, I do not believe that she should have been in the top two, let alone win the lip sync that she was a part of. And I know that pissed Jane don't off. And I will say this: I've been loving the confessionals that Jane's been doing, because Jane been shady. She's been having me like a lot with a lot of the stuff because she can say whatever a lot of the stuff I want. And shout out to Discord, because when Discord said what she said about Athena, talking about people playing fair and all that, I'm like, sis, you was not playing fair. You did not play fair at all when we were sitting up there doing the show, because immediately we're like, well, y'all just gonna have to be mad because I'm gonna vote for family. Family comes first. So I'm gonna vote for Juicy and I'm gonna vote for Mia. Those are gonna be my top two. And the funny one, no, Mia was like, please don't be mad at me with the way that she voted. So I hope it was no hard feelings with the way she voted, because she was like, yeah, I'm voting for my girl first because we made a pact. Is that I said I was going to vote for a certain amount of people. I was trying to look for the damn post, but I can't find it. I post so much stuff on my social media. But like when Discord was basically like, oh, Athena said vote fairly and then put an asterisk there because it was like, girl, you didn't vote fairly. You voted the way you decided to vote. There was politics involved. You voted for your family first, and then you voted for the other people. So even if your performance wasn't the greatest, and I'm glad that at least Juicy was honest, was like, yeah, that Kenya didn't know the words. So they expected her to be in the bottom. So for y'all to go and vote Mikey in, I just thought that was kind of, that was just trash to me. So I'm really looking forward to next week's episode because we all knew that they was going to put that Raider Queen out and it was going to see how the girls voted. So it's going to start some mess in the show because we need drama. So I'm looking forward to seeing that and seeing how the girls voted. So I want to see if there was any more that Sierra had to say before we move on. So oh yeah, so they said that suddenly presented looking back at the game changing, or in her case, game ending twist, those 2 weeks became very different drag race. It became an episode of Survivor or The Traitors, where it was much more about social strategy and it was about the week's performance or runway. It was more based on any factor that you can come up with to justify a vote. That's why I said I call bullshit on the way that a lot of these girls voting because I don't think they were voting fairly. And don't even get Sierra started on those nonsensical alliances, given that type of dynamic and the relationship that were already being cultivated in the room. It cracked everybody. We saw that in how people approached their alliances, people who then felt insecure about their alliances or who broke them. I don't think anyone was safe because everybody was so shaken by the ass. And they also said that Sierra was also shaken because, based on her trajectory this season, she didn't expect to wind up in the bottom. As she reminds us, I was moving onward and upward. I had been what I'll say is high safe, robbed of a top placement a couple of times, then landed in the top for my meat dress denim combination. And then the judges decided to take off a week and turn it over to the queens, and suddenly I was up for elimination. Still, Sierra said she wouldn't have done anything differently, not even the talent show performance that ultimately got her voted into the bottom two, saying it was an emotional tribute to her late drag sister, Tristan St. Clair, who unalived herself in 2024 with a message of hope and strength for anyone who needed to hear it. It was a story Sierra knew she wanted to tell long before the call of Drag Race came up. Well, that's good because I feel like when you're in that situation, at least if someone you want to pay tribute to unalive themselves, at least if even if the queens didn't like the show and people want pomp and circumstance and stuff, the message got out there. And if someone who's watching the show and they feel like they don't see value in their life and they're thinking about unaliving themselves, and I hope they don't, that they saw that video and it inspired them to want to keep pushing forward and holding on because you know what? We've all been in situations where we feel like it's the end of the world and we want to end it all, but it does get better eventually. So just hold on and you know, we all eventually come out on the other side stronger than yesterday, as Britney Spears would say. So we all need a little healing. But then speaking of Britney Spears, she ended up performing with Mikey Meeks to Toxic, which know if I was really here for that song of all Britney songs. I was like, okay, that's the choice, okay, but I don't know. I didn't really feel that lip sync. I mean, Mikey was funny because she had the rotten teeth and all other stuff, and did make me chuckle a little bit. But I just wasn't. I was underwhelmed by the lip sync. No shade. So she said, she also said that the song played in the bar the other night when Athena Dion was there. My drag family all grabbed my hand and we laughed. So so it was like, okay, that was some kismet type situation. So yeah. So I don't think I have anything else to add to this. Speaking of which, I did have this photo because I forgot to add it up in there because we gotta have our elimination photo where you see the two queens up for elimination. It was cute or whatever, but look, it is what it is. So, as I said before, this episode was a chop. Hopefully, it gets better from there. And what I'm really hoping also is that y'all figure out how to like this Raider Queen thing. I don't mind it. It's an interesting concept. Y'all just got to figure out how to make it work in the confines of the show y'all trying to do, because this whole thing in the middle of the season and allowing the people that are competing on the show to determine the fate of other queens or who should be up for elimination, who goes home. I don't like that twist, because I've never done that with the whole Rate a Queen thing. You just wanted to know like how the girls will rate each other in that performance. But now that you're allowing them to determine the fate of other queens or who gets to stay and who gets to sashay away, I don't know if I like that part. So y'all need to figure out how to make that work. Maybe y'all could just bring the Rate a Queen into All Stars and just remove it from the regular show altogether. Maybe that's what needs to happen. Take it off the regular show, bring Rate a Queen to All Stars, make that a thing, and put it in the middle of the season. And in my opinion, maybe that'll fare better, because these are familiar queens, and it's about a point of stepping your pussy up in that whole situation. So maybe Rate a Queen needs to be, as I said, bring it to All Stars, get it out of the regular season, leave Drag Race as like the regular season where the judges get paid to do what they're supposed to do, which is the judge, and to determine who gets to stay, who gets to sashay away, and not some girl who just starting out in their first season. So yeah, fix that. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.